Secret plans for King Charles' death are already tearing the royal family apart. The king's health crisis has compelled the royal family and their staff to contemplate the implications of a potential change in reign, as well as what they wish to accomplish beforehand. Understanding the developments in the royal narrative since February 5, 2024, the day King Charles revealed his cancer diagnosis, requires insight into a significant assumption circulating within British political circles. This assumption is that when King Charles III took the throne, many anticipated he would live as long as his mother, 96, or father, 99. However, following his cancer diagnosis, which remains of an unspecified type, few beyond the most optimistic truly believe this to be the case now. Predicting one's own death is challenging enough. Predicting another's is even more so. Nonetheless, it is evident that the king is making remarkable progress in his fight against cancer. His resilience has been remarkable, evidenced even after his tour of Australia. Although the tour was somewhat scaled back during the bleak days of February when his cancer was disclosed, few imagined travelled to Australia 8 months later. The full force of the British medical establishment was mobilised against his illness. Innovative treatments and, true to Charles's character, his cherished herbal and natural remedies are all being utilised. Even if Charles ultimately achieves full remission, by breaking with centuries of royal convention to announce his cancer diagnosis, he has initiated what courtiers delicately refer to as the change of reign. Preparations for the reign of King William V have quietly commenced behind the scenes, and it will be challenging to reverse this momentum. Charles' family was informed of the seriousness of his condition, which prompted Prince Harry to travel from California just 3 days later to meet with him. William also took immediate action. Shortly after the public announcement, he appointed a new private secretary, Ian Patrick, a seasoned former diplomat with 8 years at the Foreign Office. This move signaled William's intention to take on a more significant, global role. However, his plans were abruptly interrupted by his wife's cancer diagnosis, which necessitated his withdrawal from public engagements and international travel for several months. With Kate now recovered, William has returned to a more prominent public presence than his father. William resumed long-haul international travel with a trip to South Africa in early November for the Earthshot Awards, an event expected to attract considerable attention. For Harry, the altered timeline regarding his father's reign presents particular challenges. He cannot effectively rehabilitate his image as a global social activist, showing up and doing good, as he and his team phrase it, without reaching a peace agreement with the royal family. In reality, Harry is more likely to negotiate successfully with King Charles III than with King William V. The transition in reign is unlikely to significantly impact Meghan Markle, who appears content to remain in conflict with the British royal family. However, sources close to Harry indicate that despite his financial success from sharing family secrets, he is weary of being a minor character in a saga of familial strife and desires nothing more than to restore his reputation and emerge as a serious figure in philanthropy. One royal insider suggested that Harry believed he could cash in on family secrets with the expectation of eventually reconciling with the royal family due to his father's affection for him as his darling boy. He believed he might have 20 years with his father as the ultimate authority to repair those fractured relationships, the source stated. They further noted that if an agreement were reached with his father, William would not wish to squander time or political capital attempting to alter it once he ascended to the throne. When asked whether Harry would have penned his book or publicly accused family members, one of whom was later identified as Kate Middleton, of racism if he had suspected that Kate might soon be queen alongside his rival, King William, the source replied, "That's exactly the point. I doubt it. Executive power and influence are already gravitating towards William. Anyone who questions this need only observe the polished Instagram video that William and Kate released months ago to announce her recovery from cancer. This video was not approved by the king and featured not Charles, but rather Kate's parents, Mike and Carol. To pull off such audacity demonstrates that William and Kate possess an instinctive awareness, though they would never openly admit it, and their office did not respond to the Daily Beast's inquiries on the subject, of how the power dynamics have shifted since the king's diagnosis. Charles' staff, who consistently refrained from commenting on his health and maintained this stance in response to the Daily Beast's questions for this article, are understandably protective against speculation regarding the boss's well-being. However, there is a compelling argument that discussing a king's potential death is a legitimate matter of public interest, particularly due to the hereditary principle and anachronism that the Windsors have dedicated their existence to upholding and defending. Moreover, such reluctance does not alter the reality that the entire royal landscape shifted on February 5, 2024. Interestingly, the Daily Beast has been informed that some of Charles' advisors, instinctively preferring to keep matters under wraps, regarded the announcement of his cancer as politically naive. Changing of the guard. The naturally reduced authority of a dying monarch is why royal palaces are typically so secretive about a monarch's health. We witnessed Queen Elizabeth II visibly declining on our screens during her final years, yet the palace confidently claimed she was suffering from nothing more severe than episodic mobility problems. The courtier who coined that phrase once remarked to the royalist that it was likely their most frequently used expression, even surpassing another well-known line. Some recollections may vary. When presented with well-sourced information by this journalist indicating that the Queen was terminally ill with bone cancer, struggling with her sight and hearing, and experiencing periods of confusion, they vehemently refused to comment. I nonetheless hinted at the story in the Daily Beast, which resulted in my removal from palace briefing lists and calls. Upon the Queen's passing, the palace unofficially confirmed that she had indeed died from bone cancer. The death of George VI from lung cancer was so closely guarded that it surprised even his own daughter. Princess Elizabeth ascended to the throne while staying in a treehouse at a game park during an official tour of Kenya and had to rush back for the funeral. Some even suggest that the king himself was not fully informed about the severity of his illness, which seems to be taking secrecy a bit too far. The deaths of kings have always held significant importance. Dramas like Game of Thrones center around them, the lead-up, the death itself, and its aftermath. A particularly gripping scene from the adaptation of the Wolf Hall novels depicts King Henry VIII, portrayed by Damian Lewis, falling off his horse during a jousting match. He stops breathing and is presumed dead. His right-hand man, Thomas Cromwell, rushes to his side in a crowded tent. Everything shifts dramatically. One rival taunts him, "Cromwell, you are a dead man." A dead man. Cromwell quickly springs into action. Where is the Queen? What about the Papists? A messenger is dispatched up country, instructed to arrive before this news. Another ally is immediately declared dead. Amidst the chaos, his son and aide Gregory suggests they flee to the ports before they are closed. Then, miraculously, Henry gasps back to life. Cromwell quickly retracts his orders, including sending another messenger to intercept the first one. This year, there have been instances when courtiers, family members, and aides have experienced the same sense of dread and uncertainty that Cromwell felt as he stared in shock at his unresponsive king. While they haven't been rushing to the ports, few would blame them for quietly updating their LinkedIn profiles, especially considering how brutally Queen Elizabeth's staff were dismissed upon her passing. Harry, whose office declined to comment to the Daily Beast, has no desire to exchange the sunny Californian lifestyle and the freedom he enjoys with his wife and children for a return to the suffocating scrutiny of royal life. Reliable sources have informed the Daily Beast that claims he is seeking a way back into royal life are unfounded. However, he does wish to re-engage with the philanthropic and social activism sectors rather than being a constant subject of tabloid gossip. Such rehabilitation hinges on reconciliation, for which Charles holds the key. Fortunately for him, Charles has a deep affection for Harry. He is heartbroken over the family division and genuinely wishes to heal it, not only for personal reasons but also for his legacy. Being remembered as Charles the Unifier or Healer or Magnanimous sounds far better than the current perception of him as Charles the Very Unlucky. Other royals also have much at stake. For Charles' wife, Queen Camilla, who has been tolerated by William for the sake of stability and unity but has never been liked or loved by him, her husband's death would raise two significant questions common to many dowager duchesses. Where will she live, and how will she support herself? Part of that answer involves Charles' controversial brother, Prince Andrew, who is under pressure from the king to vacate his lavish 30-room residence, Royal Lodge, which was previously home to the notoriously extravagant Queen Mother. Many have questioned why Charles is investing so much energy and political capital into such a seemingly trivial issue. Some reports suggest that Charles wants Andrew out in case he passes away so that Camilla can claim the property as a dowager house. However, Andrew has other plans. A friend recently revealed that he intends to run out the clock on Charles. He is resisting eviction efforts, knowing that once there is a change of reign, removing a stubborn prince from a decaying palace will likely be low on King William's list of priorities. What will happen with Charles' sister, Princess Anne? Often described as the hardest working royal, her purpose revolves around crisscrossing the country to fit in over 500 engagements each year. William has made it clear that he does not envision this as the family's role going forward. Instead, he prefers a limited number of high-impact engagements over the traditional paternalistic approach of old. The king's other brother, Prince Edward, and his wife Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, who are neither particularly close nor distant from Charles, have managed to gain William and Kate's trust and affection. They are likely to be rewarded with a promotion when William's reign begins, potentially making their children, Viscount James and Lady Louise, the first new working royals in a generation. However, Harry's decision to launch a barrage of accusations aimed squarely at William and Kate upon leaving the family now appears to be a grave miscalculation. In the grand game of royal life, no one needs to reshuffle their hand more than Prince Harry. He is acutely aware that he must do so before the dealer changes. As we wrap up today's discussion on the unfolding drama within the British royal family, particularly in light of King Charles III's health crisis and its implications for the future of the monarchy, we invite you to share your thoughts. What do you think about the potential changes in royal dynamics? Do you believe reconciliation is possible for Prince Harry and the rest of the family? If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on the latest royal news and insights, please like and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring you more engaging content. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching.